There's a mistake, a quiet, invisible mistake, that most men make every single day, and they don't even realize it's the very reason they get ignored. 3 words: you're hot. Simple, fast, convenient, and completely powerless. You think you're complimenting her, but what you're really doing is blending in with the asterisk hundreds asterisk of voices that said the exact same thing before you. Let me tell you something most men never understand. A woman doesn't react to what she's heard 1,000 times. She reacts to what she's asterisk felt only once. Asterisk and you're hot is something she stopped asterisk feeling asterisk a long time ago. Because it doesn't reach her, it doesn't touch her mind, it doesn't stir her emotions, it doesn't make her pause. It just passes by like noise. So if you walk into her world with the same tired words, you don't become interesting. You become invisible. Now listen closely, because this is where everything shifts. Attraction, real attraction, doesn't begin with what you asterisk see. Asterisk, it begins with what you asterisk notice. Asterisk, because any man can look at her, but very few actually asterisk see asterisk her, and that is where your power is. Instead of saying you're hot, you look at her, really look, and you say, there's something calm about you, like you don't chase attention, it comes to you. Now she feels something. Because you didn't just look at her face, you read her energy. And energy is something she can't fake. Instead of saying you're hot, say, you don't seem like most people here, you feel intentional. Now you've done something dangerous, you've separated her from the crowd. You've made her feel asterisk different. Asterisk and people are drawn to those who recognize what makes them unique. Instead of saying you're hot, say, the way you speak, it feels like you think before you talk. That's rare. Now you've touched her mind. And when you touch a woman's mind, you don't just get her attention, you asterisk stay asterisk in it. But here's where most men fail. It's not just asterisk what asterisk you say. It's how you say it, the pause, the eye contact, the calm confidence, because desperation talks fast. Confidence takes its time. You don't rush your words. You let them land. You let them breathe. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Just look at her, hold that moment, and let her asterisk feel asterisk your presence before you ever speak. Because when your presence is strong, your words don't need to be many. Now let me take you deeper. A woman already knows how she looks. She saw it in the mirror. She saw it in the reactions. She saw it in the attention she didn't even ask for. So when you say you're hot, you're telling her something she already knows. But when you say, you seem like someone who doesn't settle, now you've told her something she asterisk feels. Asterisk, something she asterisk identifies with. Asterisk, something that makes her stop and think, how did he see that? And that question, that curiosity, that emotional spark, that's where attraction lives. Because attraction isn't built on repetition. It's built on asterisk impact. Asterisk and impact doesn't come from trying too hard. It comes from being asterisk, real enough asterisk to notice what others ignore. So stop chasing her with empty words. Stop throwing compliments like everyone else. Stop trying to impress her with what's obvious. And start doing something rare. Start paying attention. Start observing. Start speaking with intention. Because the moment she feels like you asterisk, see her asterisk, not just her face, not just her body, but her energy, her presence, her essence, that's the moment everything changes. And here's the truth most men aren't ready to hear. It was never about saying the right line. It was about becoming the kind of man whose words asterisk mean something. Asterisk, so the next time you're about to say you're hot, pause. Take a breath, look deeper, and ask yourself, what is it about her that nobody else had the courage to notice? And say asterisk that. Asterisk, because that's the difference between being just another voice she forgets and being the one she asterisk remembers. Asterisk, stop saying you're hot. Because it has become one of the most overused and emotionally empty compliments a woman hears. She has heard it so many times from strangers, from social media, from people who didn't truly know her. that it no longer feels special or meaningful. When you say it, you might think you are appreciating her, but in reality, you are blending in with everyone else who said the exact same thing. It doesn't make her feel unique, and it doesn't create any real emotional reaction inside her. A woman already knows how she looks. She has seen herself in the mirror, she has noticed the attention, and she is aware of her physical appearance. So repeating something obvious does not add any value. What actually matters is making her feel seen in a way that goes deeper than the surface. That is where most people fail. They focus only on what is visible instead of what is felt. Instead of using a basic compliment, you need to notice small, real things about her that others ignore. For example, you can say, "I like how confident you seem when you walk," or "You have a calm energy that feels different," or "The way you talk shows you think before you speak." These kinds of compliments are powerful because they show that you are paying attention. They make her feel understood rather than just looked at. You can also appreciate her personality and mindset. Say something like, "You seem like someone who knows her worth," or "I like how you carry yourself, it feels natural," or "There's something unique about your vibe, it's hard to explain." These words create curiosity and emotional impact because they are not common. They make her pause and think about what you said, and that moment of thinking is what builds connection. Another important thing is sincerity. If your words don't feel real, they won't have any effect. You don't need complicated lines or perfect sentences. You just need to speak honestly and calmly. When your compliment comes from genuine observation, it automatically feels stronger. Even a simple sentence can become powerful if it is real. Tone and delivery also matter a lot. If you rush your words or sound unsure, the compliment loses its strength. But when you speak slowly, maintain eye contact, and stay relaxed, your words carry more weight. Confidence is not about saying more, it is about saying less but meaning it. You should also understand that silence can be just as powerful as words. Sometimes a small smile or a moment of eye contact before speaking creates more impact than jumping into a compliment immediately. It shows control and presence, and that alone can make a strong impression. The goal is not to impress her with something flashy. The goal is to make her feel like you actually noticed her in a real way. When she feels that, the connection becomes natural. She becomes more open, more comfortable, and more interested in the conversation. So instead of repeating "you're hot," shift your focus. Look beyond the obvious. Notice her energy, her behavior, her attitude, and her small details. Speak about those things in a simple and honest way. That is what makes a compliment stand out. That is what creates real attraction. Stop giving compliments that only focus on her looks, because attraction does not grow from the surface alone. Physical compliments might catch attention for a moment, but they do not hold it. A woman may smile when she hears them, but deep inside, she does not feel anything lasting. This is because beauty is the first thing everyone notices, so when you only talk about that, you are not showing anything different about yourself. You are just repeating what is already obvious. Real connection begins when you go beyond what is visible and start noticing who she is as a person. Every woman has thoughts, emotions, habits, and a way of seeing the world that makes her unique. When you recognize those things, you create a deeper impact. For example, instead of focusing on her appearance, you can say, "I like how you explain things, it feels clear and thoughtful." Or, "You seem like someone who stays calm even in stressful situations." These types of compliments reach a different level because they show understanding. When you speak to her mind, you show that you value more than just how she looks. This changes how she sees you. Instead of being just another person trying to impress her, you become someone who actually pays attention. That attention creates comfort, and comfort builds trust. And where there is trust, attraction grows naturally. It is also important to notice how she behaves in small moments. Maybe she listens carefully when someone is talking, or maybe she has a quiet confidence that does not need attention. You can say, "I noticed you really listen when someone speaks. Not many people do that." Or "You don't try too hard, and that makes you stand out." These words feel personal because they are based on real observation. Another powerful way to connect is by appreciating her mindset. You can say, "You seem like someone who thinks deeply before making decisions," or "I like how you stay true to yourself." These compliments are meaningful because they touch her identity, not just her appearance. When someone feels understood at that level, it creates a strong emotional response. Simplicity is key here. You do not need complicated language. Simple, clear words that come from genuine observation are always more effective. If you try too hard to sound impressive, it can feel unnatural. But when you speak naturally, your words feel honest, and honesty is what makes them powerful. Your intention also matters. If your goal is only to impress, your words will feel forced. But if your goal is to understand and appreciate, your words will feel real. People can sense the difference, even if nothing is said directly. You should also remember that timing plays a role. A well-timed compliment, given after you have observed something specific, feels much stronger than saying something immediately without thought. It shows patience and awareness, and that makes your words more valuable. In the end, attraction is not built by repeating what everyone else says. It is built by seeing what others miss and expressing it in a simple, honest way. When you focus on her mind, her behavior, and her energy instead of just her looks, you create something deeper. And that depth is what makes you memorable. A woman does not truly connect with someone who only notices her appearance. She connects with someone who understands her on a deeper level. This is something many people overlook. They think attraction is built through quick compliments and surface-level praise, but real emotional impact comes from feeling understood. When a woman feels like someone gets who she is beyond what is visible, it creates a different kind of connection, one that feels rare and meaningful. Every person carries thoughts, emotions, struggles, and values that are not immediately visible. When you take the time to notice these things, even in small ways, it shows depth. For example, you might notice how she reacts in conversations, how she handles pressure, or how she expresses her opinions. Saying something like, "You explain your thoughts in a really clear way," or "You seem very grounded in how you handle things," creates a stronger emotional response than any physical compliment ever could. It shows that you are not just looking, you are paying attention. Understanding does not mean overanalyzing or trying too hard. It simply means being present and aware. When she speaks, you actually listen instead of waiting for your turn to talk. When she shares something about herself, you remember it. These small actions make a big difference because they show genuine interest. And genuine interest is something people naturally respond to. Another important part of this is emotional awareness. Sometimes it is not even about what she says, but how she feels. You might notice a change in her tone, her energy, or her mood. A simple line like, "You seem a bit quiet today, everything okay?" can mean more than 100 compliments. It shows care, and care builds trust. When trust is present, attraction becomes natural and effortless. You can also acknowledge her values and the way she sees life. For example, "You seem like someone who doesn't follow the crowd," or "I like how you stay true to your opinions." These kinds of observations make her feel recognized on a deeper level. They show that you see her individuality, not just her appearance. It is important to stay natural while doing this. You are not trying to impress her with perfect words. You are simply expressing what you genuinely notice. If your words are honest, they will always feel stronger than something rehearsed. People can sense when something is real, and that authenticity is what creates a lasting impression. Patience also plays a role here. Deep understanding does not happen instantly. It builds over time through conversation, observation, and shared moments. When you rush, it feels forced, but when you take your time, everything feels more natural and real. In the end, what truly matters is not how many compliments you give, but how meaningful they are. When a woman feels understood, she feels comfortable. When she feels comfortable, she opens up, and when she opens up, a real connection begins to form. So instead of focusing on saying something quick or impressive, focus on understanding her. Listen carefully, observe quietly, and speak honestly. That is what creates depth. That is what builds real attraction. And that is what makes you stand out in a way that words alone never could. Specific compliments have power because they prove that you are truly paying attention. Most people give general compliments because they are easy and require no effort. Words like "you're beautiful" or "you're amazing" sound nice, but they are too broad. They don't tell her anything unique about what you actually noticed. Because of that, they often feel temporary and forgettable. When you give a specific compliment, everything changes. It shows that you are not just reacting. You are observing. For example, instead of saying "you're nice," you might say, "I noticed how patient you were when explaining that. Not many people take that time." Now your words carry weight because they are connected to a real moment. She can remember it, and she can feel that you genuinely saw it. Specific compliments create emotional impact because they feel personal. They make a person feel recognized for something real, not something generic. For instance, saying, "You have a way of making people feel comfortable when they talk to you," is very different from saying "you're friendly." The second one is simple and common, but the first one shows deeper understanding. It tells her that you noticed how she affects others, not just how she appears. This also applies to small details. Sometimes the most powerful compliments come from the smallest observations. You might notice how she listens without interrupting, how she chooses her words carefully, or how she stays calm in situations where others might react quickly. When you